and welcome to this session on performing eccentric boring. Let us begin with the session.
Let us now look at the objectives of the session. At the end of the session, you will be able to mark the eccentric center and circle, through the eccentric circle, drill a hole in the eccentric center, bore the eccentric hole, ream the eccentric hole, chamfer the bored hole. Tools and equipment requirement for this exercise are as follows: lathe, 4-jaw chuck, chuck key, tool post key, cutting tools, vernier caliper, steel rule, universal surface gauge, marking media, vernier height gauge, V-block with clamps, center drill, center punch, dot punch, ball peen hammer, diameter 8 mm drill bit, diameter 12 mm drill bit, diameter 16 mm drill bit, boring bar, reamer. Eccentric turning and boring. When different diameters are turned on different axes, it is said to be eccentric turning. Whereas eccentric boring is a process of enlarging or creating eccentric holes for which the axis is skewed from the central axis of the workpiece. Through this exercise, let us learn how to perform eccentric boring. Check the raw material size using vernier caliper and steel rule. Mount the job in an independent 4-jaw chuck with help of a chuck key. Check the trueness of the job using a surface gauge by keeping the maximum length outside the chuck. Set the facing tool and face one end. Set the right hand turning tool and turn a diameter of 80 mm to a maximum possible length. Unclamp the workpiece and reclamp by reversing it and check the trueness of the workpiece again. Set the facing tool and face the other end to maintain a total length of 25 mm. Set the chamfering tool and chamfer the end to 1.5 into 45 degree. Remove the job from the chuck. Clamp the finished turned rod in the V-block with the help of the clamps. Apply marking media to both the end faces of the workpiece. Adjust the height gauge to a length to locate the center of the workpiece. Scribe and mark the concentric center of the workpiece on both the end faces. 20 mm to the existing reading and adjust the height gauge to locate the eccentric center. Scribe and mark the eccentric center of the workpiece on both the end faces. Witness mark the concentric and eccentric centers using a center punch and a ball peen hammer. Scribe a guide circle of diameter 20 mm with the eccentric center as the center point using a divider for eccentric setting. Witness mark the guide circle using dot punch and ball peen hammer. Hold the job in a 4-jaw independent chuck on the turned diameter. Position the workpiece in the jaws such that the center lines are centered with respect to the jaws. Keep the chamfered face outside the chuck. True the concentric center in line with the lathe center using a universal surface gauge. Open one jaw and tighten the opposite jaw so that the center of the work moves. Repeat the operation till the eccentric center comes in line with the lathe center. Check trueness of the workpiece with reference of the 20 mm diameter eccentric circle with the help of the surface gauge. Center drill the eccentric center to which the hole is to be drilled. Drill hole in steps using 3 drills of diameter 8 mm, 12 mm and 16 mm in order. Set the boring bar to the tool post. Bore and enlarge the diameter 16 mm hole to diameter 25.1 mm. set diameter 25.4 mm reamer to the tailstock. Use reduced speed for reaming. Ream the hole to diameter 25.4 H7 fit. Set the boring bar or a V tool to chamfer 25.4 mm diameter hole. Chamfer both the ends of the hole. Unclamp the workpiece and inspect visually. Deburr the workpiece using a smooth file. Measure and ensure the diameter 80 mm to a length of 25 mm using vernier caliper. Measure and ensure the internal diameter 25.4 mm using vernier caliper. Apply a thin coat of oil on the workpiece and preserve it for further inspection. To recap, we have learned to mark the eccentric center and circle, through the eccentric circle, drill a hole in the eccentric center, bore the eccentric hole, ream the eccentric hole, chamfer the bored hole.
So that's all about to perform eccentric boring. See you in the next session.